There's a ton, an absolute ton of Corsairs, although they're getting mitigated by the Scourge they're just running into. All right, here comes the attack from Menace. Menace gonna face a wall of Sunkens though, and Lurkers, and that is not gonna go anywhere. Menace completely stopped there. He's going to be not a menace at all to the Zerg player, who really at this point can comfortably pick up another expansion or three. Given how he has so many resources, he could also be teching right now. I don't know if he's going to get another evolution chamber. Another evolution chamber. There we go. Queen's Nest would be good also, and maybe a transition to Hive. Meanwhile, Menace expanding at a non-standard position there, kind of a hidden position at the upper left, instead of taking his natural third expansion on Othello, interesting enough. Not sure if the Zerg player knows this is coming. If he scouts with his overlords, though, he should be able to spot it. Meanwhile, he really should be picking up another expansion, like I'm saying, like I said before, and instead he's just continuing to be content here off a 3 base, although that's not the way Zerg wants to go towards the late game. They want to have 3 or 4 base. In fact, taking the upper left would be a good idea for him. Looks like Menace is persisting with the Zealots, interesting enough. He's got some observers, he's got probably +2 attack there, got his Templar archives, gonna get goon range, and that's a smart move there to transition to more dragoons. He's got 6 gateways right now. He could do with maybe 2 more, but if his macro is good, he should have the advantage here. Notice his food count is double the Zerg's. I'd say mainly it's the fault of the Zerg's macro, and looks like he's might be thinking about going in for a zealot attack here. I don't think this is going to work very well against pure lurkers, but is Soldia going to have his lurkers in position is the question, and is White going to have some good storms. That was a decent storm on the Hydralisks. One more storm could take out this clump of lurkers. He really needed to bring these lurkers in the back forward a little bit, and it seems that the APM of Soldia has failed him a little bit. He hasn't really brought more lurkers up, although Menace deciding just to go in for a straight charge completely fails, and this is why lurkers are so devastatingly good against tier 1 units. I mean, you just saw them eat, absolutely eat. About 80 psi worth, or maybe like 60 psi worth of zealots, all of them going down there. So Menace has failed in his attack. On the other hand, he has succeeded in picking up the upper left. And if the Zerg player doesn't take advantage of this temporary weakness to either attack or expand, he's not going to have much of an advantage at all. Looks like the Protoss player going to go for a big harassment of the Overlords. I don't see any Scourge. I do see a Hive going up, and I don't see another expansion for the Zerg. Meanwhile, the Zerg seems like he's thinking about an attack here. If he can ever get out of his base, he might be able to get an attack, but he's getting Psylocked by the Corsairs. His Hydralisks with no upgrades yet. Managing to do some damage to the stairs, but he might be stopped by a couple of DTs if he can't, get his overlords over there. If all the overlords die, but it might not matter because he's got a ton of lurkers. If he just brings all of his units together and manages to A move them like Savior did against Bisu, he could still win this game, I think. There's not much in the way of storms. What is the Zealot doing? Is he going to depower his own cannon? What the hell? If he unpowers his own cannon, that will be like a Darwin Award, like committing suicide. But anyway, it looks like the Zerg player might be able to break through here. He's got all the Zealots going down here. He's going to get the cannons down, and it looks like the Zerg player might actually win the game despite being, much weaker. And you can tell Menace was all spam at the beginning of the game. He's down to 140 APM. Obviously, most of his actions at the beginning were completely worthless. Now the Protoss player in huge trouble. His natural expansion under tremendous attack, although the Zerg player really should have taken down his cannon before putting down his lurkers. I don't know if he's reinforcing right now. It looks like his macro is not succeeding for him very well, but it might not matter. The Protoss player is in huge trouble. He's going to lose his natural expansion, and this could be game here. Even though he does have the upper left, it looks like he's going to pretty much lose his expansion. Zerg player actually going to play a little bit aggressive, going to go in with the Zealots. I'm sorry, with the lurkers against the Zealots, and he actually might lose all of his lurkers here, but I think he should be able to take down this Nexus. Oh man, if he doesn't take down this Nexus, oh man, is he gonna pull a Hyuk? No, he doesn't pull a Hyuk, thank God. Hyuking would mean not taking down the Nexus when you have a chance to, but looks like he does take down the Nexus. Now the problem is with the Zerg player is that he doesn't like economy, he doesn't like money. He might be a communist, in fact, or just a person who doesn't like money. I don't know what that would be called, because communists like conquering places also, and then taking their money. But this guy just doesn't like the economy. I guess he just doesn't like money. But maybe he's a monk, a Zerg monk. He's like, I'm gonna win with just 3 bases. Oh yeah, kind of like July Zerg. Anyway, it looks like White is gonna have to transfer almost all of his probes to his one mining expansion at the upper left, but he's not totally out of the game because, as you can see, the Zerg player isn't really ahead in food count. Although that's fine. The Zerg player probably has stronger forces still. +1 carapace for the Zerg, and probably has some upgrades for his melee. But meanwhile, looks like the Protoss might be thinking about a counterattack. He might be a little bit desperate here, and he might actually catch the Zerg outside of his base. The Zerg player might be setting up for an all-in attack, though, or not an all-in attack, rather, but just bringing all of his forces in here. But the Protoss player has gone for an attack from the north here against the Zerg. Zerg, actually, nice. Oops, that would have been better if it was cloned. I was going to say, nice job killing all the observers. But anyway, it looks like the Protoss, with some nice storming there, catching a lot of the Hydralisks. He's only got this small force left, though. I don't know how much he has in the bank in terms of resources. The Zerg player needs to burrow, though. Is he ever going to burrow? These lurkers talk about getting into the perfect position. He's overextended himself a little bit, but he has actually managed to fight off most of his army, crippling most of White's army here. And meanwhile, White, though, managing to sneak in a Dark Templar. Is he going to get anywhere? Is he going to get anywhere? Oh, no, he gets nowhere. You're out of bounds. So Menace is in kind of trouble here. He's gonna have a million probes at the upper left, but just 1 base. Meanwhile, finally, Soldia realizing he's actually not playing on Bloodbath. He's actually playing on a 4-player map with expansions. Has decided to take the 3 o'clock. Really, I would advise him heavily to stop relying on the president of Zimbabwe as his economic advisor, Mugabe, who's managed to ruin one of the most productive economies in Africa over the last 25 years and replace it with a cholera-infested wasteland. But anyway, he's probably following the teachings of the great leader, Mugabe, which you guys obviously write me a lot of PMs about because, the cholera outbreak and everything. Oh, what are you doing in Zimbabwe? I don't like cholera myself, man. I die of cholera a lot. It's not cool. Anyway, it looks like Soldia actually with a decent attack here picks off the High Templar, or maybe the High Templar just suicides himself. However, he actually sent in his lurkers in a little bit early, and now his lurkers might actually go down. So this actually was a bit ill-conceived of an attack. He doesn't actually have that much on the ground, once again, due to his poor economic planning here. And the White Protoss, Menace, knowing he has pretty much nothing to lose here, is going to go right in for the attack. If he takes down his 2 Sunkens, and if Brown doesn't decide to use his armies, who are also on a strike here, anti-war protest, he might actually lose his 3rd, and that would be disastrous for him because it would be completely retarded, considering he shouldn't be losing the game at this point. Anyway, at any rate, it looks like he's managed to lose all the drones, and he has actually fought off White, who's actually managing to produce more units and amazingly gotten his APM a little bit higher. He's actually producing pretty well out of his gateways. 9 gates there. He really should just take this base, though, at the upper left, and he's probably thinking about it. So, not necessarily OSL play from both players. More like... never mind. But yeah, looks like another attack coming from Menace, though. So Menace refusing to die, and Soldia refusing to get hive-level units like Defilers or Ultras. I mean, really, actually, he lost his cavern a while ago, so I guess he can't make Ultras. But he could actually lose his game right now because of just poor macro, pretty much. And also, for some reason, he just is at a really not really using his gas very well. He could be making a lot more lurkers and fewer hydras. That would take care of this extra gas and also let him win the game. But instead, he's going to lose his 3rd. And it looks like my predictions were right, that Menace seems to just have a way superior macro, even if he doesn't necessarily have the best game sense. It's like he's like the He's kind of like Quanro, except really bad. He just like all about attacking. It's like I gotta attack. I got a bunch of speed lots. I don't care if there's lurkers. I gotta go in. I gotta go in. But in the end, it looks like he's gonna be all right because he's got the he's actually producing things, whereas the Zerg player didn't produce much and didn't expand critically. And now his natural expansion is about to go down. He's got a couple of drones at this right side, but GG coming from Johns Hopkins. So Johns Hopkins also lost the 2v2 that I casted previously on my channel, and we're also ahead. So basically, John Hopkins. Basically the team that likes to get ahead and then totally bomb. I don't even know what to call that. Maybe like a Napoleon complex or something. But anyway, GG coming from Rice University, by the way. Rice University from Texas managed to win this game, and you guys just managed to watch a very, very interestingly played PvZ game from amateurs. All right, thank you guys for watching, and do check out Collegiate StarCraft. It is cstarleague.org.